at a Kenyan commencement speech he gave in 1990, Watterson says, drawing comic strips for 5 years without pay drove home the point that the fun of cartooning wasn't in the money, it was in the work. But then at the same time, he says things like, the best summation I could find from Watterson for his own creative process was, he said later he would sit down and, quote, stare into space for an hour and sometimes not come up with a single decent idea, or sometimes no idea at all. It's very tempting to go do something else and just draw up a strip, but I find that if I make myself stick to it for another hour, I can come up with several good ideas. But even then, that was not enough sometimes. And in the Calvin and Hobbes 10th anniversary book, he says, and I think this is the key quote, maybe anyone listening out there that wants to be creative or do anything really, he says, sometimes I just cross the whole thing out. On occasion, I've ripped up entire stories, weeks of material that I didn't think were good. The quality of a strip is determined by the quantity of ideas in the wastebasket. So there's your sort of your quote, your inspirational quote is sort of like the idea of just doing the reps, just doing the work, and even if only 10 or 5% of it is good, you can get to quality by producing volume, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's not true of everybody, but I think it is potentially true of anybody starting out to try that approach. I mean, I think it's also worth mentioning, like, obviously this guy's a genius, and the ideas that he's throwing away, I might not be able to look at it and think, like, why is this worse than, you know, the ones that you like. The other thing that he's defined by is this, like, incredible level of, you know, aspiring to satisfy his own artistic aspiration above all else.